You take me so high, you take me so high, you take me so. You take me so high, you take me so high, you take me so. You got me up all night. You got me up all night. Oh, you got me far from the 9 to 5. You got me living a new kind of life.
What's up? What's good, guys? Alright, y'all should be able to hear me. And now you should be able to see the screen as well. And you should be able to see me. Alright, what's up, y'all? How's life? Okay, so it's gonna be a good one. We got a little bit more movement than last week, so I'm excited to dive in. Oh, my bad. Skirt. Oops, that's my fault. All right, you should be able to hear me better now. All right, let me just double check real quick. Audio good. Okay. Skirt. Here we go. All right, well, welcome everyone. Blow up this chat. Let me see who's here. Who's locked in? Who's locked in with me today? We got Corey in here, Kev, Martin, Gregorio. What's up? Kevin Lopez. We got Skylar Yang, Calvin, El Mago. What's up? Juan Carlos, Miguel Jose, Chile. We got Chile in here. Let's go. Gold. We'll look at gold. Vamos a ver oro. We'll look at it. Argentina. Tazahal. David, what's good? Angeles. Pennsylvania. We got Miguel. We got Ramon. Dallas, Texas. What's up? Qatar, Yusuf. Yo, Qatar, man. It's been a minute. Qatar was so cool. I miss it for sure. We got Staten Island in here. We got Park City in here. Utah. The Midwest is represented over here. I see you, Austin. What's good, bro? Columbia. Leo, Athens, Georgia. Columbia, Seattle. All right. Bakersfield, California. What's up, Nestor? I'm sure you know the homie Krista. Let's go. All right, perfect. All right, guys, so as you can see here, we have Oxnard, California also in the house. What's up, Oxnard? I think Cali might have the majority of the representation here. It might be Cali. All right, so let's dive into it, guys. We're going to go into some pound stuff, USD, indices, probably for the most part. Maybe I'll look into some Australian stuff. But for the majority, I already have a pound setup that I'm waiting for anyways. So I'm going to give you guys that. If you are someone who's a member, right, then you do have, you are in a U.S. oil trade. So how's that going for y'all? If y'all took that, I might have gone over that last week too. I don't remember if I called that out last week as well. We can look at it. I maybe did, depending on how the market was. But I mean, guys, how did last week go for everyone here? Let me know in the chat. How did last week go for you? It probably was a little bit of a slower week. A lot of the currencies had some sort of bank holiday. No U.S. dollar news for the first 3 sessions of the week, for New York sessions of the week. So a little bit slower on my end. A lot of more indice trades than anything. I think I had 6 ideas overall last week, and 2 of them missed entry by a little bit, so then ended up deleting those. So I ended up executing 4 trades. 2 went for a total of 4.5 risk reward. The other 2 ended up as break even. So, you know, things are going. It was a little slower, right? Thankfully, Indices gave a couple setups. And I would say this, that's kind of the perks of trading a little bit of everything. And some of you maybe are very dialed into a specific pair. Not saying that's wrong, not saying that's good or bad. It's just a different approach. For me, you know, obviously with a lot more experience, I have a lot more confidence executing with really any kind of asset class, whether it was, for example, last week was indices, energy, and currencies. All right, no metals trades. Probably won't have any other metals trades either this week either. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But that's a main difference. Like, for example, if last week you were mainly trading currencies, you might have not have been in a trade. Right? Let's say you only trade gold. For example, gold to me, especially if you're kind of a smart money trader in that example, like in that regard to Wyckoff, I feel like we haven't really had great metals trades. So it is nice to have a little bit of everything in your arsenal, as long as you're able to stay disciplined, as long as you're staying organized. So if you can do those things, then I do think it's a great thing to do. And so, yeah, that's kind of my idea with this. Like, I'm grateful. You know, I am where I'm at this part of my journey. Long way to go. Trust me. There's levels to levels to levels to levels. But yeah, so at the end of the day, last week was a little bit slower. And having those expectations will also help you a lot. So if you're used to trading a lot and then all of a sudden you're not getting the setups at the frequency that you normally would, it can cause mistakes. So always good to be prepared and kind of have a good understanding of what can you expect from the market, what can you expect overall as a whole. So, and guys, what I want to do is I want to open up the chat. If you have any thoughts, questions regarding your journey, your mindset, strategy, whatever, go ahead and drop them. Feel comfortable in there. My goal is to help you guys, you know, evolve here publicly, obviously for free, at least one time a week, if not, you know, more. But this is where we're at so far. So let's dive into a couple more things. Houston's in here, Florida. We up on oil right now. Let's go. Good stuff. US 30 did it for me. Could you activate the subtitles? Can I? On this session? I don't know how, honestly. I know I can do it after the session ends, but during I'm not sure. Yeah, these Shure mics are nice. This one's actually, I'll tell you right now. This mic is the M7, I think. MV7. Yeah, the MV7. MV7. I think I got you on a little discount link. I got you, bro. All right, so let's dive into it. So what can we expect? What's up, Benjamin? So for this week, I want to give focus with the pound right away. It's coming here within 5 hours, less than 5 hours. So let's take a look at it, see what's going on. So here we go. Now this is a crypto. This is actually not at all what I was looking to go over, but you guys can feel free to research this crypto. This one was a banger for me. The last run, I still think it's honestly pretty legit. Something that I'm looking at. Obviously, I'm invested. Full transparency. I have entries below the prices that we're at right now as well, and where we're at now. So, but just something for you guys to look into. Again, do your own research. But let's get into pound pairs. I was just looking at that before we started live here. So let me go over. Here's what we'll do, right? In between different currency pairs, I'll answer some of the questions that are lined up in here. All right. So I'll start out with Euro GBP. I haven't looked at this in a minute. I'll do a quick scan to see if it makes sense, if there's anything that we're here to do. And, you know, I was looking at this on the weekly before. Let me close out a couple things here, make our process nice and smooth. much better. So when I was looking at Euro GBP last month, we ended up getting a monthly close like this. Month lost a ton of momentum. We ended up closing very bearish. The first, 2 weeks of May, obviously it's been very bullish here. Last couple weeks, we took a Euro GBP buy. I think that buy was also here on the live stream. Low key live stream here kind of got some nice ideas. You know what I'm saying? Like, we kind of getting some good ones in here. Most of my trades are indices, which we don't necessarily get to do here live, since a lot of it is trading based off of price action, responding to things that are happening in the moment. But at least with some currency pairs, energy, oil, things like that, metals, sometimes we can get a nice trade a few days early, sometimes weeks early. Indices, for me, a lot more of it is pretty responsive to what's happening in the moment or what happened the day before. So it's a little bit harder at least for me, to forecast along, way beforehand, unless it's a bigger time frame setup. But anyways, took a conservative exit here, 4R for me on Euro GBP. We talked about how the market could definitely feel some imbalance up here, but I didn't want to really, just because I felt like I was going against the trend on a higher time frame. So I was okay with leaving money on the table there. And we've seen that market did come to fill imbalance. And look at this, guys. It played off of where we've historically seen strong levels. So once you've seen price liquidate some pretty strong levels, like here we had a lot of resistance around that 0.8620 price point. Now, once it's liquidated, these areas are still pretty strong. So we saw price reject there here recently. Now, what I do want to dive into here is, what's up, Zoe? What's good? What's up, everyone? In there, Daniel. Cool. I got ETH set up. All right, I'll look at them too. So here's what we're going to do right now with Euro GBP. Interestingly enough, I do feel like we may have some buy positions, but I'm not going to rush into anything here. You do see a pretty big push to the downside here. If you guys look at this on the 1 hour time frame now, what you will see is a very aggressive move that liquidates this support, fills some imbalance before the market slowly works its way back. But this is bullish. I mean, higher highs on the 1 hour. The market comes down just to come right back up. By the end of the day, this ends up relatively bullish, continues on up, and then we trade above this previous high for the entire week. So the entire week we're trading above here. So right now, I mean, I think Euro GBP is a possibility. And if Euro GBP goes down, then up, then GU could probably go up and then down. So something to keep in mind here, which is Euro GBP. Now, this is not one of my favorite pairs by any means. It's really choppy a lot of the time, but we've seen it's no different than anything else, and we have seen success here. So we could have a decent setup here. Now the question is, where inside of this massive blue range would this play out? Where would you be looking for buys or sells? And we saw some pretty strong resistance right over here. So a lot of times the market loves to reverse off of levels that previously were already doing pretty well. Now, I would want to have a good risk to reward to make this even worth it. So if we use a Fibonacci retracement tool, we can see where the market could get down to. Now, in my opinion, I like entries at 786 or under, just because the risk to reward's a lot better, considering that my stop loss usually goes below the previous low. So could this drop this deep, or could this maybe just barely get into the zone and then see some reversals? I have a feeling Euro GBP is going to be a very mellow retracement before it continues. The problem with that is that I don't necessarily feel comfortable placing my stop loss inside of this range. Trading in like the middle of ranges is my least favorite thing to do. So, seeing Euro GBP and the recent low that we had was all the way over here. So the market's like inside of a range, inside of another range. Not my favorite thing. So although this looks decent, I think one way to approach this would be to either have a, an entry very low, just so it makes it worth it. There's sometimes ideas where I think, you know what, this could be a setup. And even in this case here with Euro GBP, we may see the market reverse off of the 71, not specifically the 71, but price action around these levels. I don't even really believe it's going to go this deep to, somewhere between 786 and 886. But if it does, then hey, let's do it. So there are scenarios where I'm willing to sometimes miss out on a trade if I feel like the risk reward just isn't there. Now in this example, we have liquidity as well. We got equal highs, guys, so we're going to tackle that on as well. Let's go. And if we get a nice reversal, wouldn't be surprised if we tackle on this liquidity right up here for a 4.4445 risk reward. It's a decent setup. Now, why do I have my entry over here? I'm just looking at where we've seen previous resistance. The market over here, if we zoom out a little more, it's kind of constantly rejected these levels: support, some resistance, same thing around here. So you can kind of find commonalities in the market prior, and you can see some reversals. For example, right over here, you had support, again, support, resistance, support. So it might reverse from here. But what I want this trade, right? What I want to trade all the way up here if I need a massive stop loss. Not my thing. I'm just not that interested in that. So something like this, I'm down for. We'll go for a 4R here. If it triggers, cool. If not, that's fine. I think we have better setups anyways. So we'll go ahead. I'll drop this here for you guys. Let's see if we get a deep pullback here for Euro GBP. So here's the first idea so far. Boom. And again, these are things that we're doing every day, right? In the mornings. Now let me run through some of these questions. This is my last day. I can't afford the program because of what happened that I told you about. I'm very unsure what to do after today. Okay, so if you get to a point where you feel like you start to struggle financially, this is actually a good point to tackle on. So if you're at a point where financially you're struggling and you are trading, first thing, guys, is you don't necessarily need to be learning the technicals 100% of the time, right? You probably need to work on a few other things. And when you get to, if you do get to a point where you're struggling financially, oftentimes it's, there's things that are out of our control, 100%. But also, there's a certain mentality, there's a certain mindset that comes with money, right? There's a certain perspective, we're nurtured in a specific way to view abundance, income, money, resources in a specific lens. Now, most people, right, we're nurtured in a way where we feel scarcity. We feel like there's not enough. We feel like we might not make a lot of money. So let me go ahead and let Nancy in real quick, guys. Sounds like she's trying to rob the place. Give me 1 second, guys. And we're back. All right. So money. Perspective with money, how to work with these things, right? Look, guys, when I started, I was making very little money. I just didn't have skills. Two, I didn't really understand leverage. And I'm not even talking about trading. I'm just talking about in general. And there's moments, I've worked with a lot of students from all over the world, people that have low income in high income countries, people that have low income in low income countries, people that have high income in low income countries, all levels. And so if you do find yourself at a point where you're struggling financially, the first thing you want to really put into perspective is, how do I view it? Do I feel like there's a limited amount? What feels difficult for me to accomplish, to acquire? And two, am I being resourceful? So as a trader, there is the aspect of skill set development where it's like you're learning how to understand strategy, right? Entries, exits, all that good stuff, the terminology, all of that. Then you're learning about discipline, right? Emotional control, impulse control. You're learning about, okay, how well am I actually doing the thing that I'm learning? That's one thing. But if you have specific beliefs on money, on what you feel like you're worth, what you feel like you're capable of, then that's going to limit you anyways. So regardless of you having the skill, if there's certain beliefs that you have, you're going to struggle. And so when we're financially struggling, what happens is we can look towards the market as a savior. The market's not going to save you when you don't have money. You need capital in order to trade. But second of all, if you are seeking the market to make quick returns, you may force trades. You may be greedy. You're more vulnerable to certain perspectives, to certain attitudes. So if you're struggling financially as a trader, one, you want to find a way to have healthy cash flow, consistent income while you're nurturing this skill set, so you're able to focus on, actually learning. You're able to, when you lose, when you make mistakes, you're able to actually look at what you're doing with a healthy perspective. Because this happens often, when we just don't have what we want, especially money, it's easy to be more reactive. It's easy to become a victim in this game. So, guys, take care of your income. Becoming a trader doesn't require you having to quit your jobs at all. If anything, value money more. What does it mean to you? Like, what is it really for? I remember when I started to trade, one of the things that happened to me was money became like a weapon. It's like it was a tool. Like, I actually started to work more when I learned about trading, because I realized every extra dollar in my account got me closer to freedom. And so find something that you can do. And I have a YouTube video, you guys can somehow, somewhere, you can go on my YouTube. And it's I think the financial guide for traders, some shit like that. But watch that. And so position yourself to be making healthy income, because trading isn't going to be overnight, right? It's going to take a minute. It's going to take a bit. It's going to be faster for some. It's going to be slower for others. But you want to take care of that first, so that the lingering effects of no cash flow doesn't influence your trading. And same thing, you can build bad habits when you're looking to compensate with trading money than anything. Now, if you can't, let's say, afford to pay for a mentor or a course or whatever, our programs, then that's fine. Don't stop. Don't quit. Watch what you have here. But build a plan to be back in the right environments. And I'd say just don't be a victim of whatever's going on right now. And one of the things that served me the most, maybe it's just optimistic. Who knows? I'm okay with that. But for me, any single situation, it's my default state of mind is, okay, what's the silver lining here? Why did I need to experience this? Where's the lesson in it? So far, it's worked pretty decent. So, cool. Anyways, we'll get back to it. But I say if you feel like you don't know what the next steps for yourself are, is just be resourceful and prioritize having healthy cash flow until you build that savings plan, you build that emergency fund, so that when you are maybe doing something like this and you're trading, or you have maybe another business, another income stream, you're able to just focus on the processes you need to do without worrying about, okay, how much do I need to make? All right, so let's get into it. Right? That was the question, the one question we were answering in between these setups here. So let's look at a different setup, and I'll answer another question right after. Now, GBP odd, I don't really see much going on over here. I don't think we'll get any entries here. Let's see. Not really. I mean, we have a little bit of a dip below this support here. A very small movement before the market starts to rally here. I mean, we could see a reversal right here for GBP odd. That's a possibility. It is a possibility right here. All right. The one downside that I see with this so far is I don't have a lot of proof that we are bullish. Like, price slipped right above this, come right back down. Chopped up a little bit. Right now it's starting to trade up here. If the market stays bullish, if the market keeps trading up there, then I may be preparing for something else. But I would need the market to kind of really dial in on this bullish structure, and then maybe for that news event, maybe we get all the way down here. We'll see. So what is rally? Okay. Cool. So let's do another one. This one was short, not too much going on there. Now, GBP CAD. Surprisingly, my alert didn't go off for this, so that's actually kind of sad because this played out nice. Sometimes it just happens like this, man. I couldn't tell you how many setups I just didn't end up being in because I guess I didn't set an alert or for whatever reason. But now that we're here, right, market sweeps these highs. We had some pretty solid resistance right here, right? There you go. You see the market drop, make a lower low, keep working its way down. Eventually, we got back up here, and the market did liquidate and close out this buy position. Here we see the exchange from the buy to the sell. You can see the market reverses off this zone. Market successfully drops from here. About 23, 24 pips, not a whole bunch. At this point in time, had we had entries here, which would have been actually very, very precise, we'd like to take entries at previous levels of resistance. So had we taken sells from here, the market would have already mitigated, so we would be protected. But either way, this is not a trade to take here moving forward. All right, so what do we got going on right now? Let's see here. No new setups for me with GBP CAD. So we can move on here. Hold on here. What's up? Give me a sec. All right, here we go. So GBP CHF, steady climb. Steady pushing. And I do have an idea with GBP, so hold on for a second here. I'm just navigating to the rest to see where we're at there. Right now, GBP CHF slowing down at previous highs. Nothing much going on. GBP NZD, slow and steady, climbing its way higher. At some point in time, this trend line will be liquidated at some point. So at some point, I think we'll get an aggressive drop. Right now, we're kind of taking out the retail sells that we're building up all in this zone. So interestingly enough, we had something like this playing out for quite some time, and now you're seeing GBP NZD taking care of these retail sellers while also creating trending retail buy positions. So I'd be curious to see where does this really eventually, like, where do we get a sell? So if price could give us a nice sell position, would love to take sells to clear out where we've seen trend line buyers, retail buyers enter the market. So maybe eventually we end up clearing these highs into this imbalance. And in this imbalance, if we were to just casually get a distribution, then I would love to take a sell position from right around here. And then we can see something like this play out. So something like this is a possibility for sure. We just need a little bit more information, a little bit more detail. Anything on EU, GU? I'm gonna get there. Y'all gotta relax. GBP entity, patience. Something like this. So stay on the lookout for that. Obviously, a few things didn't happen for an entry like this, so just wait it out. Now, before I dive into GBP USD, I do want to look at some other questions that we have in here. What are some tips that helped you in your trading journey as a beginner? Let's see. As a beginner, let's see. What helped me as a beginner? I mean, I feel like I just made every mistake possible when I started. So for me, it wasn't. I was not cautious at all. I was definitely just throwing myself into the pit of fire with this. Probably not how most people are gonna make it that way. Most people, if you go through enough loss or pain, frustrations, you just end up quitting. I don't know if it's just stubbornness for me, but I just kept going. So number one, I would say, I'll give you just three main tips. Not that these are the only ones, but one, don't get into any debt as you're learning how to do this. So take the losses, as many losses as you possibly can, without having real money at risk. Learn the technicals, learn your system, learn as much as you can until you're starting to really feel like you can see everything play out for yourself over and over and over again. So that's the first thing, is do that. Two, focus on repetitions. So even if you're like watching a stream like this, even if you're doing, you have a mentor or you're going through courses, don't just focus on watching. Like, go and apply it. Draw up the entries, the exits, mark up the charts just like you're seeing, see it happen, and then ask for feedback as much as possible. And then number three, as a beginner, I think trading indices on small time frames will help you a lot, because you'll just get more repetitions in. You're going to see the setups happen a lot more frequently. So it's not that you want to be trading a whole bunch, but in the beginning, you just want to get feedback really quick. You want to know, do I know what I'm doing? Does this make sense? So those are some things that I would do. And then let's see. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. So there's a couple things that you can do to get better as a beginner. Now, GU. Now, this is the setup, in my opinion, of all the pound pairs. This is the setup that makes the most sense to me, and that's just speaking my language. And what we have going on right here is pretty simple. The market here, last Monday, we had a sweep of the highs before it created an imbalance. The market then also created a little bit more resistance, some equal highs, and just kept working its way down. The market just kept bearish, kept on going. And as it started to work its way lower, GBP USD almost gave us a lower low. In fact, some people will call this a lower low. In my opinion, I don't. I don't think we have a bearish structure. I don't think the market is trending downwards. In fact, I think it's trending upwards still. I think this actually was a very good indication that the market doesn't want to go down. It actually wants to keep going higher. However, within this whole process, what comes up must come down, and vice versa. So I think we can catch a counter trend trade here. Now, some people, they don't trade counter trend. Well, I don't know. I feel like that's just not me. I like it. I like counter trend trades too. Now, my exit's a little bit different, you know, but I'm not scared of a little counter trend trade. We might lose a trade here and there, and that's okay. But for me, I feel like our entry strategies is pretty solid regardless of the trend that we're in. What matters more are your exits. If you do feel like you're going against a specific trend on a certain time frame. So like, for example, for me, I think we're doing higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. The market fails to really sustain lower lows, and then we quickly get back and get higher highs in the market. To me, it shows us, yeah, we're bullish. So I like sells up here. And we're also building up a decent amount of liquidity right before the news event. Remember, we have a GBP news event in a little over 3 hours, 4 hours, a little over 4 hours. So I could definitely see the market spike up into the zone, close out this buy position, and then sell off. Now, there's a couple key things here. One, I'm not looking for a, daily swing trade. No. I think I'm looking for less than 100 pips, doable. Stop loss 20 pips, going for around 87. So we're looking at around a little over a 4 risk reward, which is fantastic for a counter trend trade. Incredible. And so looking to close out the buy, run with the momentum. And the reason I'm looking to take it specifically over here is because we had a massive sweep of these equal lows of this support, and then saw a continuation. So I want to sell this to then buy this. We're playing a little bit of ping pong here. So this, to me, we got double 2 setups, and as if this happens first, because there's a chance that it couldn't, but if this happens first, then what would happen is the market gets to here. If we already mitigated this, then I might even hold the buy even longer. So it's just going to depend on how it all comes together. All right. But this is GBP USD. Here you guys have it. Let me go ahead and drop this here in the chat. GBP USD. There's your link. All right, perfect. Is that making sense, guys? Are y'all understanding how this looks? If anything, if there's a setup that if I were to choose the sell or the buy, I do like the buy a bit better, but I'm taking both. Okay, cool. Let's see if we got any other questions here. Saludos, Mike. Nos escuchaba desde Master Academy. I was lucky to learn from the best. I appreciate that. You're welcome back at any time. You got an ETH setup. All right. And actually, I don't know how you can send it to me. Mike, what are your recommendations on regulated indice brokers that use MT5? In the U.S., there isn't one. Not that I know of. I don't think so. No, it's not possible. An American, like a U.S. broker, you can't trade CFDs. Not with them. Not on MT5. There's futures. Like there's futures accounts that you could open up and trade indices with. But yeah, they wouldn't be on MT5. I'll go over ETH in a bit. No worries. Self-limiting beliefs and the way you actualize your beliefs are going to affect your financial situation. You want less, figure out what you need, and strive to achieve that. Money will flow. Okay, Top Step. Okay, do your thing there. Mike, what is more usual for you? Shot live to entry to some trade or programming the entry? For me, market execution. Yeah, way more often. for sure. Yeah, I'm not here to recommend any brokers or sending out any affiliate links like that. For sure, that's not my place to be here. I'm catching up. Okay. How do you identify a real broker from an imposter? So I'm not saying unregulated brokers are bad either. There's some that pay out, but what I want to say is this. How do you do your research with this? One, you can some of these have insurance, so like your money is literally insured. Two, testimonials. Look up testimonials. You can look up Trustpilot. You can look up YouTube videos with certain brokers or people having issues with it. And then key things you want to know is withdrawal. Do you know anybody that's withdrawn more than what they deposited? That's one. Two, how much your commissions for opening up a trade? Some may be nothing, some may be something. What's the swap look like for certain things that you trade? So, and what's the spread look like? It's the bigger one. What's the spread look like? So, for example, guys, if you have a very tight spread, then usually that means that they make a bit more money on commissions than on the spread, or vice versa. If the spreads are average, then you probably have very low commissions. A couple of things. But yeah, if you're going to do your research, first thing is first, just find someone that's withdrawn a much more than whatever it is that they deposited. Anyone can give you back your own money. People do it all the time. So yeah, there's a couple of things. Depends on where you're at in the world too. There's just different rules, regulations, etc. And then you guys can just ask all of these questions to the brokers themselves. You literally go and ask them like, hey, what are this, and this, and this? You can just ask for all the information you need. You can literally ask them whatever. Because if they want your business, they're going to answer properly. You know what I mean? Love our education. Me too, man. What's up, Pierre? Selling roofs right now, building capital. I like it, man. Get that, stack that cash, bro. All right, perfect. So let's move on, right? GU, that's a wrap. This one can play out, I think, within a few hours. I would not be surprised if GU spikes up for that news event and then comes down. That's what I think is going to happen. Now, in terms of limits, for me, 1 a.m. Central, I might be up for this. I might stay up for that, to be honest. Also, after this, I'm going to be doing like 2 hours of cardio too, and I have another call. So I'm probably going to be up for that, which is fine. That way I can manage my position if it comes and activates. For me, how I manage my stop loss once I'm in a trade is super important. So because my rule for when I go break even, it might be my strongest edge because it just protects me from a lot of losses. And so it's important. So for me, I can set limits, but if I know I'm able to manage it, if it does happen to activate throughout the day, but if I'm going to be asleep, then I'll delete limits. That's just how I approach it. But again, that's me. That's my perspective. So cool. Now we talked about GBP. What I want to cover now is a little bit more on the New York session side. So indices, dollar, oil, metals, maybe some crypto, etc. I'm gonna kick it off here with oil. I think U.S. oil has been moving pretty well. We kicked things off really strong with U.S. oil here. I did not share this on the live stream last week because we didn't have enough. This hadn't happened yet. So, but if you were on our daily live streams, our New York session streams, and a lot of you guys here are members, so y'all know the sauce. If that is the case, though, we saw this setup here Wednesday London session, liquidates the previous lows, gives us higher highs, comes back to the zone, just plays off of these previous levels and liquidity. And when I saw the market spike down like this, it was like a quick push down, I actually originally had my entry a little bit lower, but intuitively, and I shared this on our in our chats and things like that. But I said, all right, guys, like it's in our zone. Honestly, like I like the entry now. So the reason I had that kind of intuitive feeling, like I want to at least get myself in the market right away, is because the market was really just consolidating for quite a few hours, and then you have that aggressive drop. And you guys have seen this so many times. The market will aggressively go in one direction and then immediately turn back around. So I kind of saw this big quick drop as, okay, this might be the sell-off, what really traps people into this before it rips. So yeah, that's how I saw it. I was like, all right, I think this is that specific thing. We took the buy, very, very little drawdown in the market. Been moving in our favor. We got very close to a 2 risk reward exit here earlier during New York session. Worked our way down, working our way back up. In my opinion, I think we can keep going. It's pretty similar to GU in regards to how we have that like sell to buy scenario. I think we have a lot more. We can still go higher. We have an imbalance here, a big buy position that liquidates sellers. So if you did miss the buy, I wouldn't worry too much about it, because you do have a sell position here that is, it's inevitable. At some point, we're going to get back up to this area and we can see some sells. So yeah, I mean, I like the idea. The sell comes from the clearing these equal highs up here and then dropping. So yeah, we got that going on right there. US oil buys active, stops in profit, and then just waiting for the market to get up here eventually to sell this off. That's my take. Feel good about it. Now that's oil. So what can we be waiting for now with indices? Indices hot. Everyone loves indices. That's actually not true. I know some people that definitely do not like indices whatsoever. But structure's been bullish. 15-minute time frame, bullish. We've yet to break the low. So technically we're still bullish. Now we did lose quite a bit of steam here during New York session. The market spiked up, and then right at New York Open, this thing said, I'm kind of over it, and just completely melted down. So it is what it is at this point. Nothing we can do. In terms of entries, though, I don't necessarily have an entry here yet. Market came up, chopped up quite a bit, and then worked its way down. So unfortunately, no entry for me, at least not yet. Could we set something up soon? I think it's possible, but we got some ways to go. So for the moment being, I am going to be patient with US 30 and indices overall. So I think we could still keep going higher. We'll see. I'm patient with US 30 for sure. Now with Nasdaq though, we've had liquidity building up quite a bit. We finally took care of that, and then we haven't quite gotten up to this level. Price came down, lost some steam, chopped up again. Again, when the market pushed on one more time, cleared up liquidity here, and then rallied right back to this area. And so Nasdaq's just having such a hard time staying down here. Nasdaq is refusing to hold it down. Whenever price gets below, 1,875, it just doesn't stay here. So this is showing me that price wants to be higher. It wants to keep pushing. And, we liquidate these retail buys as well, and price gets back up here. So, I would prefer to get higher highs and really see structure bullish confirmed. It is what it is. If we can do that, then I would love to take some buy positions. At the moment, yes, the market comes down, sweeps tons of liquidity, gets below tons of buy orders, for the entire week. quickly recovers, and then the market's just been pretty choppy. So if we can get a higher position here, if we can have price stay above, show us that it's truly bullish, then I would definitely be down for some buy positions over here. So something like this is what I would like to see with Nas. For now, I'm patient. And that's the thing with NASDAQ. Nas es la tóxica. The thing with indices, guys, is indices will get you, like, in just trading in general, if you give the market enough time. That's pretty good. 2,750 milligrams of mushrooms in this thing. That's not bad. Getting wiggly over here, you know? So, yeah, I could see Nas play off of this level, but I would love some bullish structure first. What do you drink, Mike? I don't know. It's called Odyssey. Honestly, I've never had it before. The logo got it for me. It was really the logo. I don't know if you guys can see this right there. This is not a sponsor or anything. First time I ever had this drink. It's like a Metatron's cube. I don't know if you guys know sacred geometry. So it looks sick. That's the only reason I bought it. And mushrooms are super healthy for you. It's got lion's mane, cordyceps. It's pretty sick. But new sponsor. No, it's not a sponsor. You know what's funny? I can see the view count here. It like spiked down. I think it's that happens when there's ads. But no, not a sponsor. If you guys want to see, we took a loss today on S&P. Kind of had it coming, honestly, though. But it is what it is. S&P, that's the loss of the day today. Wanted to take I call it a shakeout play, where it looked like we were getting break and retest that attracted a lot of sellers into the market, and then the market could rip up and go for some liquidity. It didn't. So, like Astro Shrooms. Nah, it's not a sponsor. That'd be cool though. If y'all watching, I mean, I'm down. But yeah, anyways, with this being said, of all of these setups, NASDAQ to me looks like it could become very bullish, especially because it left a lot of liquidity behind. Like if you guys see this, you have equal highs over here. You have liquidity over here as well. So there's a lot of motive for price to liquidate these entries and stay up here. If we were to get something like this, then yeah, I think that's a good idea. Also though, the market did spike up before it came crashing down. Now, the market has had a hard time staying down here. So I wouldn't say that we're necessarily bearish with indices by any means. You guys can see that the higher the time frame you go, the more you can see that NASDAQ does not want to trade down here. It briefly spends time down here and then it comes up again. So indices, in my opinion, I do think we're going to keep on rallying higher. It's a matter of just finding a clean setup. And then, let's see here, man, time flies on these sessions, I swear. So, quick look at ETH and Bitcoin. Then I'll look at gold and silver real quick. For those asking about Euro, I don't have a clean entry on Euro or AU or NU. None of those really are speaking to me quite yet. So, I'm kind of chilling there. But cryptos to me look like we might get another pump. ETH especially, you can see here, Ethereum had a strong push down, aggressive, just super aggressive moves to the downside, obliterates anyone who's buying here from May 10th to it's basically over the weekend. All the buyers, anyone on leverage especially, probably gets liquidated there. Then the market gives us a higher high. It trades above here for quite a few hours, and we've been ranging pretty well. So I could see the market definitely give us a reversal, and then at least some sort of continuation. It might not be the big reversal, and overall we go bullish. Still a little early to tell you because you have lower lows and lower highs and lower lows. This shifts momentum on smaller time frames, but crypto's still slightly bearish. So, and when you also look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin's almost changing structure, but every time Bitcoin gets to previous highs, it just loses all its momentum. So crypto is like not giving me the full bull run energy quite yet. Almost, but then it just keeps failing. So maybe with ETH especially, we might get a decent reversal. Like we might have the market get to here, and then get some intraday range. Maybe we feel imbalanced, but I'm not necessarily sold on a big pump quite yet. Not with crypto. It could be happening soon, but I need a little more detail. Con el euro dólar, no tengo ahí entradas. Natural gas, fam. Natural gas. Let's look at this. All I'm going to say is I put you on. Don't ever say I didn't put you on. On the daily, baby. On the daily. On the weekly. On the monthly. Look at this. It's beautiful. All right. And then I'm going to wrap up with this. We went over this for months, too. If y'all been plugging in, y'all had it since like February. So, silver ranging completely. No sell entries, no buy entries soon. We had a big drop off over here that this imbalance that we never really got to. But one thing that metals like to do is they kind of like to leave imbalance or big institutional money behind, and then it just rallies for weeks, and then it gets back there eventually. So it's really strong movements and reversals for sure. Metals, same thing here. Gold actually kind of filled this imbalance, squeezed a whole bunch, and then just fully sent it. There was a setup. Some of you maybe caught this, but the sell on gold was pretty textbook. You had the sweep of the highs, imbalance. It took about, I think, 3 weeks, but we end up getting back to this big buy move, and then here's where it sold off from. So if anything, congrats if you guys sold the gold. I don't have, unfortunately, we're not getting our setup. It's been actually kind of aggressively dropping. No real big reversals. It's dropped what, I don't know, 450 plus pips. So it's moving pretty decent. Is it safe to invest a large position into Bitcoin with risk management like $300 a week? I guess, investing is unpredictable. Let me give you a political response. Invest what you're willing to lose, right? But if you have done your research, if you understand the value of the thing that you're investing in, that's usually what gives you conviction. In my opinion, do I think Bitcoin's going to be here for a long time? And do I think it's going to keep going up in value? Yeah, for sure. So I think, if anything, investing into Bitcoin for the long term is a very responsible thing to do. I think there's other options as well that maybe give you bigger returns, but something that can give you a good return for a long time that I believe is going to be around. Yeah, I think Bitcoin for sure is good. USD JPY, guys, this is just not coming down for some reason. It's just not what it wants to do right now. So I have two entries, one from a drop we got May 3rd, and then one that we got a drop that we got April 4th. So I'm looking for buy positions off of both of these levels, either or. If it gets to here, I'll take it. If we get stopped out, or if we get a reversal and then we go break even, then the next entry would be here. But yeah, I'm down for both, and I'll share USD JPY with you guys. This one, to me, eventually, like, the way we're looking at how the yen pairs move, they've just been they just been one massive spike and then it rallies. One massive spike and then it pumps. That's just like the way it's been. USD CHF. This is one that could give us opportunity soon. We had a nice spike down, clears up a lot of liquidity. Right now we're starting to get that higher high. Right? It's almost getting there. So something like this I think is pretty good. So we got the sweep of the low and now we're seeing the push. If we can stay bullish up here, I would like to see USD CHF buys eventually. For sure. And then I think that's about it. Let's see. Let me just do quick check. That pair moves slow like a turtle. For sure. At the end of the day, it's all about risk reward. You might have a 5 pip stop loss to make 15 pips. Still 3 risk reward. And then that's it. Yeah. Cool. Everything else, like I just see liquidity building up across the board. Here, NZD USD, AUD USD here. Yeah, these are not necessarily my favorite right now. So yeah, we'll wrap up there. But yeah, appreciate you guys hopping on. Hope you learned something. Again, at the end of the day, I'm just working through the setups, moving at a quicker pace than usual, just because there's a lot to get through in a short period of time. If you guys want to obviously plug in, learn every morning where we're doing it live, go through everything, then you guys can reach out. I have a form in my description. And then at the end of the day, like even all of this is irrelevant if you don't have the discipline to do any of it. But also, if you are in-person learners and you want to be around the people, you kind of want to have a more hands-on approach, we are hosting workshops all across the U.S. So in the description, you guys can see where we're going to be. If you guys want to be there, they're not really for profit, to be honest. We usually lose money doing these, but we would like to be around you guys and support and kind of build a better retention of the information and the skill set. So, yeah. Appreciate you. Any resources you guys may need, you can just check the description, see kind of what the things that I do. And then from there, I mean, we're live every morning. So I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. We have indices, and we'll see what the markets look like. We do have dollar news tomorrow morning, so don't miss out. But appreciate y'all. I will catch you on the next one. And stay tuned. Subscribe if you're not, because maybe some pop-up sessions. Who knows? Peace.